It's been over a week now since Star Wars Battlefront was released to the masses, and I wanted to do a follow-up video regarding the huge negativity towards this game and why. Hi, I'm Grayson Steele. Let's talk Star Wars Battlefront. Not only EA's biggest digital launch ever, but they also claim it was by far the strongest launch of any Star Wars title, period. So why the hate? There's a lot of mixed reviews regarding longevity to the poor amount of content available to the high DLC price. But what really struck me to make this video was watching some idiot frontman of some band not only punching his Xbox but snapping the Battlefront game disc, ranting about how shit the game is. So let's try and put this in perspective. First of all, it's a good idea to watch my original video review. This will give you a better understanding of my opinion going forward. You can click the pop-up window now. Okay, let's start by saying I am no lover of EA and I'm certainly not endorsed by them. I have found their methods in the past pretty distasteful and wasn't surprised they were voted the worst company 2 years in a row. But I have to give them credit in the way they've handled the Star Wars licence so far. Not only did they get a competent developer like DICE to make the new Battlefront game, they have watched their step and have treaded carefully over this much loved franchise. So when they released the beta, there was an immediate sigh of relief from Star Wars fans everywhere. That DICE was indeed the right developer to give us a Star Wars game that we all wanted for our shiny new consoles and PCs. Of course, there were gamers who after playing the beta were either disappointed or did not live up to their expectations, which is normal, after all you can't please everyone. But I would say a lot of Star Wars fans were itching for the release date, me included. But then on release the internet blew up, especially by big YouTubers and game critics alike, who were less than impressed by either the longevity or the lack of modes, and then subsequently the price of the DLC. But why? If you take the fanboy love for the previous Star Wars games out of the equation for the moment, it pretty much came down to what you were getting for your money. Not surprisingly, the first thing that someone will say is Call of Duty Black Ops 3 has 12 maps, 13 if you include Nuketown, and 12 game modes, and another 16 maps with DLC. And EA are asking the same price as Activision for the expansion, where you obviously got less on release. Admittedly, when EA announced they were making a Star Wars Battlefront game, they didn't give DICE much time to deliver, so in honesty I wasn't expecting a single player campaign or many modes, but when you look at what you get, which is 4 planets, 5 if you count the future release of the Battle of Jakku, 9 multiplayer modes and 3 co-op modes, so yes, when it comes to maps or planets, in this case the game is indeed lacking. But then EA did a very un-EA thing and announced free DLC that would introduce new maps, modes and star cards along with the paid DLC, which would consist of 4 more heroes and villains, 4 new game modes, 16 multiplayer maps and 20 new pieces of galactic tech including weapons, vehicles etc. Now I think EA and DICE knew they were going to get flack, certainly regarding this issue, hence the move for free DLC. After all, when you break it down, the modes are as good as any other multiplayer co-op available now. Admittedly, the price of the game on release can be a hard thing to swallow. After all, like I pointed out, the criticism lies with the lack of planetary maps rather than modes. If Activision had pulled a stunt like that with the Call of Duty game, it could have well ended badly for the franchise. But EA have addressed this issue, something they should have done from the start, as this would certainly have stopped some dickheads from snapping their disc. But better late than never, the gamble is starting to pay off in the publisher's favour. So the gamers giving EA and DICE a hard time need to re-evaluate their argument. After all, the fact that they have promised free content will go a long way in keeping Battlefront fresh and even bring back the gamers who were less than impressed first time round. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't going to win Game of the Year, and if it was to take any gongs at all then it would be for sound or presentation. But to say I'm a huge fan is an understatement, having played everything with the Star Wars name. But burning effigies and pitchforks aside, EA and DICE have delivered a game that in my opinion is the best Star Wars game released so far. And I think eventually, in time, all those big YouTubers and critics' opinions will slowly shift in agreement. So what's your opinion? leave me a comment below and please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and until next time.